You already know, man. What we doing? Trading thoughts?
Yeah, episode 4. You know what I mean? We finally got a name.
Yeah.
So, we trading thoughts.
Trading thoughts, man.
How you really feel about that though?
I like it. I think it definitely fits where we going.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like the conversation that we have is definitely like a trading thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like exchanging dialogue.
Exactly.
Trading perspectives, like type of thing. So yeah, I'm fucking with that. I'm fucking with it. Trading thoughts. That's what it is, man. Trading thoughts. So right now we trading thoughts with the Wolf and J Hill.
Yeah, facts. I think another thing that I like is definitely different. We getting a little it's depth in the conversation.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
just one way. We're not just talking about relationships.
Yeah.
Right? I fuck with that. I love the fact that we can have these conversations with just me and you. We can have a guest on and
100%.
you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be like just a guest.
Yeah,
right?
nah,
It's
facts.
all of us.
I'm kind of big on that. So speaking of that, how your week going? Let's do an energy check right now. Like, you know what I mean? Full transparency. How your week going?
Nah, so I mean it's Tuesday. So
Okay.
like, you feel me?
True
But
that.
I
I guess
we
I'm
can talk
going
about
back from last Tuesday up till now. Yeah.
I think everything is going good. It's some things that I wish that could be going better.
Yeah.
But I'm not even gonna lie, man. Everything is going good. We talked about this. I just signed my offer letter.
Yeah, congratulations. I didn't
Thanks,
get to dap you up for that.
Appreciate it. So like I had I was very tunnel vision when I came down here. I had a goal. I wasn't going out. I'm still not going out. I ain't cut my hair.
Yeah.
I told myself like I ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Until I deserve it for me.
I respect that. I think that was big, seeing the process of discipline. I think as men we need to be disciplined. And when we say we want shit, we gotta really fixate our mind on getting it. And I feel like that was definitely what you exhibited. For me, my week been cool. I feel like I had a good week. You know what I'm saying? I had my daughter for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, me and her had fell asleep. We were supposed to go to the aquarium. You know what I mean? We had fell asleep, so I didn't get to take her. So she left on a note of like, get me back to the city. Like, get me out of here. Like, you ain't get to go. So I owe her a date. So I'm stamping that, you know what I mean? I owe my baby a date. We didn't miss our opportunity to go to the aquarium because we fell asleep. But other than that, though, my week was good. It wasn't stressful. And I'm excited about this week. Like, right. I'll be coming here. I'll be excited. I'll be looking forward to this. So, it's been a dope week for me.
I'm definitely excited about this week, man. Bro, I start my job next Monday.
Oh, you did? So you got the start date and all that?
Yeah, I got all that.
You got your schedule?
Yeah, well, I don't got my schedule yet. I think it's just Monday through Friday. It's salary. This is my first time. Having a salary job. It's my first time. Like, I don't even know if I should say how much I'm making.
Yeah,
but it's my first time like making, like good money.
Comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
good.
I guess we could. It was a good job. Like,
that's what's up, man. I'm happy.
Zeros in there.
That's good. I'm happy. I'm happy for you for that, man. I understand being a creative your whole life is a different type of stability. Like, you can plan your life out different when you got that type of, backing, because you know what you want to do. So how you feel about that, going into the workspace as being a creative? So many times people try to condemn people for, having jobs, and you being a creative your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, now going into a job while being a creative, like, explain your, what I mean?
I never had a job that make the money that I'm making now, but I always had a job. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
like, what type of job? Because
I never had like a corporate, like I had jobs working for like shit. I had one other government job working for like some shit with the COVID and shit, like being a tester or some shit like that. Like
testing
calling
what?
people, not like calling people and
I'm
I
like,
forgot what it's called. A contact tracer. So I was calling people saying they had COVID or whatever.
They was testing the vaccine on you and shit.
Yeah, no, like so I had jobs. I worked at T-Mobile, but it's like everybody be like, is this my part-time job or like a hobby? It's not. This is a full-time job.
You're talking about the creative stuff.
Yeah, being a creative. It's just I have another job. I just don't take it as serious. And I'm not gonna say serious. I think it helps me a lot because I remember when I was working with kids, he's working with like behavior kids and things like that. And like I was always the staff that didn't take things personal because I'm gonna say this and it's gonna sound weird. I never cared, right? Like, so it's like, damn, you don't care about the kids while you work with them. It's not that. It's just if a kid is being bad or something like that, I don't take it personal because this isn't my life.
No, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was the staff that like people would ask to do the worst shit. I'd probably be somebody one-on-one, have to walk with them all the way down the fucking road. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
is it because you knew what you was there for? Like,
exactly.
you like so you like I'm here, but you're not like you're invested somewhere else in a sense. So like you're not 100%. Putting your emotions. Nah, that makes sense. It's crazy because I guess that's something I was able to learn. I didn't really know, like, you had like actual work experience in the past. me, I've been a full-time entrepreneur my whole life. So even when we talked about it, I like and I tell a lot of people, I like the concept of, if you know what you're trying to do in a creative space and it's not conflicting with your schedule, then you should grab a job, because that type of security, while being able to know, like, all right, I don't got to worry about my bills while I can actively pursue my long-term goal. I think that's and if you're creative and you're watching this and you don't have a job and you're trying to do creativity, because the last thing you want to do is rely on your creativity to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Because now that become a job, and then that becomes stressful, and you end it for the wrong reason. So now you're not taking passionate work. Right. You're taking work that's about the price. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like, having that financial stability, give you the opportunity to create with a free mind. You can show up and just work.
And like you said, that free mind, right? Because for me, it's like, I mean, in no business, I don't think no business started off with being $1 million company, right?
Yeah.
So like
unless you was Donald Trump.
Right. They had to have that money from somewhere. Some people might have had that money from their parents, right?
Yeah.
But for me, my job is really, it's funding my
your creativity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Your passion.
And it's because it's funding my passion, it makes it easier. And then you think about like that. You are able to create and be creative in a space with less stress. Now
that's a fact.
You add on stress of how I'm gonna pay my bills. You add on all this other stress when we got so much stress in the world. And it's like, it's hard to, it stunts your growth. It stunts your creativity,
No, 100%.
So it's like, yo, how can I be creative, or what the fuck I'm going to do when I got to worry about how I'm going to pay my bills?
That shit is one of the biggest stresses that I think a lot of the times, like even being a full-time entrepreneur, people don't understand, like I don't have a guaranteed salary. Like I can determine it, but it's still determined by how much work I put in. So I still have the stresses of how if business is slow, then now I'm worried about how I'm gonna pay my bills. How can I create from a free space?
Right.
So you know what I mean? How can I use my free time with my passions if I'm sitting here using all of the freedom that's in my mind, the real estate that's in my mind, to think about making more money? And that's why when we was talking the other day, and I was telling you, I was like, I'm at a place where I'm comfortable with knowing that my businesses pay my bills. I'm not in pursuit of nothing material right now, or I don't have no immediate desires outside of the space that we in, from creating on this platform and be creating in other ways and different shit like that, because now I feel the freedom to do so without feeling like, if I'm always chasing some more clothes or a new car or anything material, in a sense, I feel like that take away from me being able, I'm always gonna be chasing money and not really going with, this is my ultimate goal, my dream.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. It's definitely like materialistic time for me. I don't give a fuck. Like,
now you deserve it though. That's the time. That's the time. That makes sense.
On some joking shit, but on some real shit, you feel me? I feel like, and outside of just like creativity and in the workspace, right? Like I definitely felt it was times where I wanted to be more involved in like in the streets and with the kids. You get what I'm saying?
Oh shit! I'm like,
nah.
What you mean?
In the community, you know what I'm saying? Because like I used to be a philanthropist. You feel me? Like I still am at heart. It's just, again, when you're worrying about all this other shit, it's like, bro, I'm worrying about how the fuck I'm gonna eat, let alone I'm trying to worry about feeding kids.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So it's like I used to be, it's things that people probably would never know, right? Like I did this something called 48 Hours Homeless, right? So we used to have a cookout for the homeless every year. Me, my guy, and my homegirl, Raven Paris, we do cookout for the homeless every single year. One year, I'm like, yo, you know what I want to do? I want to have a real experience, right? Like we do these cookouts for the homeless, but I want to put myself in it. I did 48 hours homeless.
Outside.
Literally, like no phone, no nothing. Like I had to beg for money. Like I ain't literally homeless.
Yeah.
And like, but being able to know where how you gonna pay your bills, you might get some clothes, you better take a girl out on a date, whatever the case may be, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
When you struggling and you stressed, bro, it's like
you can't even think that far ahead.
Bro, I'm about to be homeless for real. I'm about to be homeless for real. Yo, so it's like,
it's crazy, right? Because when I wanted to speak to the homeless part, I actually when I released Cheating and Not Cheating last year, I had still, it's this highway, there's a bridge under the highway right down near Center City, Philly, or whatever the case may be. And I stood down there with my books, and I was basically like out there. And because I'm known in Philly, people seeing me out there, I posted on my gram, people was pulling up and buying the books, and I was giving all the money I made to the homeless. But more important than it was giving them the money out there, it was kind of like seeing how they operate. That I learned. I'm like, yo, like this shit is more structured than we give it credit for. Like they actually have territories. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like certain people can't, I guess, bag on this corner. And then the amount of gratitude that they were displaying was humbling for myself. And the fact that we was having real life discussions. Like they wasn't in bad spirits about being homeless. It was just like, for me, it was like I left there feeling so uplifted. And it was beyond just having material things. But I'm just like, I got to learn that they really are people. Like we ride past them all the time like they not people. So for you to put yourself in that space for 2 days, I think that's dope, because not many people willing to do that, to even step into somebody's shoes, to even see how they living. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was dope.
I'm gonna say this, and damn, I definitely want to think before I speak. I feel like, to be honest, man, they are grateful, but what I will say is, like, because I've done like so many homeless
give back. Like they ungrateful.
Like, not even that, man. I just feel like
I'm about to say I might have ran into a good bunch.
No, I mean, because what I would say is like they're definitely picky. Like they're definitely like they just like it's a homeless person is a regular person.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you're doing a giveaway and they say they got allergies, you know what I'm saying? They don't eat.
You think that's picky though? You don't think
I'm saying like that was a part of it. Like they got allergies. They don't like certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you give them, let's say if you give a homeless man some ham and he a Muslim, he not gonna eat it.
Yeah.
No matter what. For you might think like, bro, I'm giving you some food. Like you should be grateful for what I'm giving you.
Right.
Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is, I mean, I just feel like, like when you speak to somebody that's homeless, you understand that for some, it is a choice. Like for some people, for some homeless people, I'm not going to say I'm not going to Kanye West myself, but like for some of them that's out there, like they do choose to be in that spot rather than somewhere else because that's their home.
Yeah, 100%. I think to piggyback off what you're saying, I seen a video that went viral on Twitter, and it was something simple. The lady was feeding homeless, but she had options. Like, she had cakes or cookies, this type of sandwich or that type of sandwich. And, like, when they was walking up to the window, she's like, hey, what you want? And they was like, oh, it don't matter, whatever. She's like, no, like, you have a choice. Like, right. What do you want? And I feel like we feel like because they homeless, they should just accept everything. Are they being ungrateful? But it's like, nigga, I might be out here without a crib, but, nigga, I don't like tomatoes. Right. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? So when she did that, it changed my perspective because I would have probably inherited that same mindset of feeling like, I'm giving you this. But that's why I honestly was like, you know what? I'm going to sell these books and get them the proceeds. And I kind of don't give a fuck what they do with the money because I'm out here doing it for that. And there's no way they could deny them. They want to take it and get some food. They want to take it and get themselves some more clothes, or they want to take it and gamble it. That's out of my control.
When it comes to the, like you said, the, like funding, right, and giving it the proceeds, I think we definitely need to like do a better job at funding facilities for the homeless, because what I will say is, bro, I don't be thinking ahead. I'll be doing things out of fucking pure, just like, you know what I'm saying, the moment. Heart. Yeah, so spontaneous, spontaneity. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, spontaneity. Yeah. My nigga, I ain't checked the weather. This is the worst 2 days of the summer, bro. Bro, I swear to God on my life, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. It poured down.
I'm not laughing at you being homeless, but give me the story.
Bro, it ain't drizzle. It poured down rain in 2 days, bro. I'm like, bro.
I would have quit.
Swear to God, bro. The first day, bro, I got the video and everything. Like I think I had like because I think I took my phone. I had it on airplane mode for recording purposes only.
Yeah.
I ain't use it or nothing. So I remember me recording. I'm sleeping on a box. So I'm chilling. Everything is going cool, bro. At like 6 o'clock, start pouring down raining. So I go to the post office because like it got like a little I don't know, iron or something.
Like a gazebo type.
Yeah. So I go there to sleep underneath it. But guess what? Ain't nothing new under the sun. So I'm assuming other homeless people probably tried to do it before.
Yeah.
So they got security to work overnight for shit like that. So I'm sleeping under there. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. Like it's pouring down raining.
Woke you up.
Nigga pulled up like, you can't be right here. I'm like, bro, I ain't bothering nobody. Let me sleep on the side, bro. I swear to God, bro. So like all that made me think like, yo, it need to be more funding for homeless facilities because like, bro, think about it. You have homeless facilities, and if it's anything like the pursuit of happiness, that shit going to pack up instantly, right? Yeah. So they open the doors, shit packed up. What about everybody else? You know what I'm saying? And if it's only one facility in the community, there's nowhere to sleep. So if it's pouring down raining, bro, I mean.
And they get trenchers in there, I heard. Bro, like, they in there fighting over beds. So I guess just to bring awareness to that fact, whatever the case may be, if it is, that's what I was going to say. You ain't talked to nobody. Like, I know it's got to be like a head of the homeless committee that would have told you, like, bro, when it rain, we go here. I know for a fact one of them, because they got spots. Like, when it's cold and shit, they own it. Like you said, some of them true this. So this is their lifestyle. So they out there every day. You ain't think to have a meeting with them. You just showed up.
So I actually had an interview with, and this is on my gram. I interviewed one of the
top dogs.
Yeah, I guess he a top dog. He been out there for like 15 years. He was telling me. And he was just saying, like, this is my home. You know what I'm saying? This is my routine. I do this every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, asking people for money. He was talking about how, like, people, like, new people come and they try to, like, get on the block, ask for money like that. Yeah. And it's a form of disrespect and things like that. But,
they
like,
really, that shit real structured.
Yeah, bro. But it was, bro, when I say it was a humbling experience, it was crazy because at first I was going to do 24 hours. And I was like, man,
you got used to it? You're like, I'm going to do 2 days?
Nah, so before I started, I knew I was going to do 48 hours. But I remember having a conversation with somebody. And they're like, yo, you should do 24 hours homeless. And I was just thinking, like, 24 hours, I feel like you really just, like, you really ain't going to understand it. So I did it the 24 hours, and at that like 26 hours, I'm like,
you was folding. You was folding.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
That shit probably was long as shit,
bro. It's the second day. The first day was cool. I'm talking to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm having fun. You feel me? Nah. The second day is really like, cause it's like, yo, this is real. Yeah. Like I really got a bag for money, and people know me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I know that was humbling. You did it. You did it in the city?
What? Yes, downtown. Literally downtown, bro.
Damn.
I'm downtown.
You down to do it again in downtown Atlanta or Midtown or Buckhead?
I'll do it again. Honestly,
I think we should probably look into that. Make that like a challenge or something.
I'll do it again because it's just
for some type of awareness or something.
Bro, it was hard, but like it was tough. Like I had the whole cardboard sign. Like I'm sleeping on a cardboard. I'm sleeping on some bricks. It's mad water bugs coming out, bro. I swear to God, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie, I commend you for it. So was the overall objective for you like personal, or was it like, you know, a part of the, I don't know, I don't remember what you said the name was, but the thing that y'all had, the cookout.
So we had a cookout for the homeless, right? So
yeah, was it a part of that, or was it just like, you know what, I want to see what this? So
I made it a part of that. It was personal though. It was like, you know, I want to build awareness, and people. I think I was just so spare the moment with it. Like I put it out too late, but I was asking people did they want to do it, and people wanted to do it with me, but it was just so spare of the moment that
you just ended up. Now I think that's dope. I want to go and I definitely if we look into it again, but just to spin the bin a little bit. Going back to you made a comment, you was like you feel like you know, when I said I'm content with like, you know, not being a material phase. I had to go through that phase where it was like I wanted my chain, I wanted everything I got on, and I feel like you gotta get it out your system, right? Because getting it out your system is when the desire will leave. Because when you want it until you get it, and when you got it, you be like, all right, now after a while, it just become an elevated level on what you play at. Because all right, boom, you had a salary job, so this shit not a desire no more because you could just go get it. So you're like, damn, if I want to go get this, I can go get it. So it's less desirable. So you just kind of wearing the shit because it's a part of your wardrobe. But in the beginning, it's fun. It's like, damn, man, I'm really getting all the shit I said I wanted. But now it's like once you get past that point and that urge, you're just like, all right, now you get it because you wear it. You're like, this is the shit. This is just how I dress. Like at one point you wanted the hat you got on. When you got it, now it's just a part of your outfit for the day. So I wanted to speak to that because I went through that phase in 2019, and I felt like I always liked material stuff, but I felt like I didn't even go that hard in 2020, and I had a great year. I feel like 2020 was a fiscal good year for a lot of motherfuckers, but I had a good year. It was a real good fiscal year for people. But in 2019. I was like in a real estate with my brother. Now I was still doing marketing and shit, but we was doing wholesaling. And at the time, like this is my first time like closing multiple wholesale deals and making, you know, 5 figures a deal. You know what I mean? So it was like that consistently. Like we probably closed like 6 cribs in like a month and a half. It was a great right before the pandemic hit. Like, you know what I mean? It was a great little 2-month stretch. And I straight went buying jewelry, buying clothes. Like I went crazy. And by the time I got out of my system, I was like, yo, like this shit don't mean to me what it meant when I desired it. But 2020 allowed me to stay at that level in a sense. Like, all right, now this is just my lifestyle. Like where then it was like some shit to do. Now we're just like, all right, this is just where I'm at. So I feel like I'm happy you get to go in that season because I seen the discipline. You know what I mean? So I want to commend you for staying in that. And I feel like when you get through that, then you won't. This is like when the fucking bitches era. Like we like, yeah, man, I want to fuck every chance you get. You want to fuck 5 chicks in one day. And, you know, somebody might be watching us like, oh, yeah, dirty dick niggas, but fuck you. The fact of the matter is you go through that phase, but you know how you get to a point where you're like, man, when you had chicks your whole life, you ain't even pressed and you actually looking for something tangible and something good to kind of build.
It's crazy that you did it because I feel like I tell people this all the time. I feel like if you're a chick and you dealing with a guy, you definitely want to deal with a hoe, right? And I say
former hoe, nigga.
Yeah, I say that former hoe because like, and I ain't gonna lie to you though.
Even if you should want to deal with a former hoe too though, as a chick.
What? As a guy?
I mean, she experienced, right?
Nah, not me.
No, I'm fucking with you, but
right.
But it is. I think they got deaf, but I'm gonna let you talk about it. Then
I say that because you feel me, like me just being in the fraternity and things like that, and I ain't gonna lie, it's different levels to all of this shit. So like, don't get it fucked up. But I just feel like when you have that experience of dealing with chicks, you don't urge that desire anymore, and this 100%. Temptation is always here, but you learn how to. You learn how to move in a room.
That's not
roaches,
your sole
right?
purpose,
right? And it's like you know how to control your temptation,
100%.
Or control your
urges.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you deal with a certain amount of chicks, and you deal with a certain type of chick, you know what I'm saying, and you used to it, it's like, bro, like I got my chick and I want my chick. That's what I want. 100%, you know what I'm saying? Like 100%. she look good, but I know what that life come. I know what it come with. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and you did it. It's like, why reinvent the wheel? I did this already. I experienced it. You know, how new is it? That's not the phase you at in your life.
But it be sometimes that some things that niggas didn't do. Like, it's some things that niggas didn't do, but I feel like if you have a little bit of experience, you are able to control it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's like when a nigga never had money, he started getting money, he started acting different. A nigga never had chicks, women, he started getting women, he started acting different.
Right.
And it's like, you can always tell because, you know, you could tell to somebody when you've been there before, it's part of your lifestyle.
Right. When
it's new to you, it's still that. So I always, even when you could tell when a woman dealing with a man, I'm like, oh, before I had him, he wasn't doing all this. Now I'm dealing with him, he getting all this female attention, and now he's excited. He never had it. It's no different. You know, women go through it too. If they wasn't getting a lot of male attention, they go get their body done. They getting different attention. It changed the way you see things because you feel like your value is up and everything. So a lot of people are operating out of their ego.
I think even it's like it don't even have to be like that deep for real. It can be, but I just feel like, you know,
deep as what though?
As far as like just acting different, because I feel like a lot of people will say that, right? Like I hear girls say that, like you said, like he get this now he.
But it do be that though.
It do, and I feel like sometimes it could be the other way around. For example, like they say, like if you can't take care of your apartment, how you gonna take care of your house, right? So like I might be used to getting money, like you said. I'm used to having designer, just not as much.
Yeah.
Right. So like because I'm used to it, like because I got a better job and more money, I'm gonna get more designer. But I ain't gonna change my attitude. You feel me?
Yeah, 100%.
So I feel like girls gotta be careful when they say things like I introduced him to this, now he acting different. Like,
oh yeah, I get what you're saying from that regard. Yeah, no, I'm not. Really
not
like,
you. I'm saying
I
like,
get it now.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying from that angle, but it was just more so to that direct notion of like, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think how I did when I was in my neighborhood.
Facts,
It's impossible.
Yeah,
but I'm not acting different. Character, I'm still the same person.
Yeah, and
you
that's
know what
I don't like. People try to hold you to like who you were 10 years ago. Bro, it's like, bro, you acting different because you got money. Yeah, like I am acting different. Like I got money, so I hope I'm acting different because I'm in a different position.
No, but
in my life.
No, not that you acting different. You doing different.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And it seems like so. It's like a lot of
people
times
hate when you doing different, bro.
Because they want to keep you where they know you at because it keeps them comfortable. But if they gotta accept your growth, then they gotta acknowledge their inability to grow.
You wanted to talk about? Hold up, can we? Yo, I got you. Hold up. I got you. So this is a black owned tequila. I saw this. I was in Baltimore. Shout out to my homegirl Brooke. She was like, yo, you should try this tequila. It's black owned. And I'm like, I'm gonna try it. So they had it in Atlanta. So I copped it and I'm like, yo, let me try this tequila. So got the Reposado, got the Blanco.
Oh, the Blanco. So you put your money on it being called?
It's called La Boca.
La Boca. All right. Well, I'm gonna just say La Boca because you said La Boca, just so we not wrong.
Okay.
So either way, one of us is right.
Right. So I'm gonna say La Boca.
And I'm gonna say La Boca. Shout out to La Boca.
Shout out to La Boca. So look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna taste the Reposado. My first time.
Can I pour you up? Let me pour you up. First time drinking, but
no, you gotta take some, bro. You gotta taste it with me.
Come on, man.
Just taste it, dog.
You breaking your fast. All right,
bro. I'm not. My fast is done.
This is
That's enough. I just want to taste it.
This is
It's our first. Well, it's both our first drinks after our fast.
I had a little champagne. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
I
made that champagne. This is our first. Let's taste it first.
Let's toast up to new beginners.
New beginners. Trading thoughts.
Solid.
Smooth. It's good.
Yeah, smooth. And I ain't a tequila boy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, it's good.
Fucked up shit, I'm finna smack it with the Gatorade.
So thank you. But yeah, so what I was gonna say is you wanted to talk about this, right? Meek Mill shit.
Oh, the interview.
Yeah. So
I ain't catch it yet. So literally, you bringing me up to speed. I'm gonna watch it
just
today.
One of the things he talked about, how the hood taught us everything bad, right? And you say like when you get money, you start doing different, and it's like they kind of teach you in the hood
to hate that,
to like hate anything that's different.
Nah, that's
right?
a fact.
You want to be the same guy. You want to be on the same corner, the same time each and every day, right? So when you start to get money and you start to hang out and you start to do things without people, it's like, yo, you change. And you know what else is crazy? That's how we move as individuals and as humans, bro. Anytime we
in the black community or in the world,
community. Well,
in the black community,
I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like in white people too.
I don't know they natural behavior.
Yeah,
that's
so
why
I can only talk about the black community. But
you.
as humans, this is what I think. Anytime we see something different, even in the country, like even shit, yeah, we get a black president, everybody go crazy. Niggas don't even want us to have a woman president because they don't think she can hold up the job. They might say because she what, PMS, she get a period. There's so many excuses for it. But the fact that it's different. You know what I'm saying? Anytime something happens that's different in the world, people always be scared of it.
Because people fight to stay the same, right?
Exactly.
People want to live as safe as possible. They kind of just want to get by till they die, right? So I'm glad you're even touching on people
stay home.
Exactly, because people like, if I can get in a safe space and not bother nobody, it's a very scarce risk-taking mindset out here. Mm-hmm. So when people feel like that, you are different, this is why I elevated my mindset and started to seek understanding. Because when you actually, because I said this in previous episode, ignorance is one of the biggest diseases, because it's one of the things where it's not even not knowing, but people are operating out of ignorance. So not only do you not know, but you actually hating something that you don't know, that you don't get. And instead of taking the time to get it, you are okay with not getting it and keeping your limited perspective on what it is, so you can maintain that hate. But people don't want to grow. So if you're trying to grow and I'm okay with being in the same place, or somebody's okay with being in the same place, it's going to burn them up when your growth shows. My mentor told me this shit a couple of years ago. It's called, she called it, and this was when it happens within a circle, she called it supportive bipolarism. So what tends to happen is, in your absence, all of the people that you know might be your biggest supporters. Yeah, man, Hill doing this, Wolf doing this, they out in Atlanta, they doing their thing. But in your presence, when you're there, they feel the difference in the distance. So it makes them resent you, because your growth shows their inability to grow, and it shows them where they at. So they support you in your absence, because it's like, it's not there, it's not up close. But if somebody else like, well, damn, Wolf out Atlanta doing this, Hill out Atlanta doing this, what you doing with yourself? They don't like that feeling, so it makes them insecure. So it makes them subconsciously resent you, although they really do support you. So it's crazy, but people will fight to stay the same, because they don't want to change, and they scared of the unknown and what they might grow to become. That's
why what they say is a saying that people project on you what they can't do for themselves.
Yeah,
right?
People, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like they really like project their fears onto you, and it's just crazy, bro. But I wanted to I know we like 28 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to have this conversation about parenting.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna talk about mommy issues. Let's start with that, because I felt like last week you talked about, I learned something about you, and I briefly shared, but I don't know, I just felt like that's big for people to know. Like, you said like you about part of the love was when you felt like your mom was loving you, but she wasn't there, so it made you feel like if a girl wasn't there. So it made me think like, yo, we should talk about the shit that our upbringing about our parents.
Yeah. So I for me, oh man, I think my story is like unique. So my mom's got raped or whatever. So like that's how she had me. She had me at like 40, maybe like 45.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, why you sorry?
I'm here. Bro, no, it ain't about you. I'm really sorry. She had to endure that.
Why?
Because I mean, the fact of the matter is, bro, that's still a traumatic experience, and I got daughters, and it's triggering for me to think about that and their safety.
So it's crazy. I say that because like I'm here, and like for me, like my entire life, I just always been like so open minded. So like even when I was a kid, like I mean 10, 11 years old, I'm like, bro, like I never looked at it as a traumatic experience for me, because I'm like, yo, my mom decided to have a kid. She ain't like, I just feel like who does that? Who as a girl dad, your daughter get raped, she gets pregnant by the rape. It's like by somebody raping her. It's like, get rid of the kid. That's the first thing I think of.
I wouldn't, because I would let it be her decision, and I would support it either way. You know what I mean? Of course, that's not an ideal situation, but it's one of the things where like me respecting my daughter's choices.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like I'm thinking
as a protective dad. I can understand.
But I'm thinking a woman wouldn't want the child because she got
from her standpoint, 100%. That's so big.
Then she's 45, like she's old as hell. So I'm thinking like, you feel me? But like, so ever since I was young, I thought it was just dope. You feel me? So like going into that, my mom's being 45, we lived in the projects. It's like, I mean, like the story is crazy. But let's say what I was saying last week. What I was saying last week, is that like I feel like a lot of times I was so understanding to my mom's situation that it made me forget, or not forget, I wasn't able to tap into how I really felt about it because I was so forgiving and so open to it.
Gotcha.
And I feel like,
say that like elaborate. You say you're so forgiving, like you saying like you didn't resent the situation.
Nah, so it was like, yo, my mom's all right. So like we moved out of the projects when I was like 12 or 13. She had to take care of her grandmother, right? Her grandmother, my grandmother, her mom's was about to pass. They never really had a good relationship. So like they like my mom's, like my grandma had like 13 kids, something like that. So like I never was close to my mom's side of the family, like ever. They was all old. They couldn't understand religion, nothing like that. So I just remember like she been like the outcast, because like when she was young, she got into drugs. She was out in the streets, all this, you feel me? So like she never really took me around, like, and what we did was probably during holidays and shit. So, and I ain't like how they treated her for real. So like my grandma was about to pass, and she like she really want to mend that relationship with her mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when she was about to pass, she gave up the crib and the projects to go live with her. For me, it was like, and I think she'll say the same thing. Like, it was like one of the worst experiences that she did, because we gave up our home. You feel me? Even though it was in the project, our home to be guests, right? Yeah. So what happened was, my grandmother passed. My uncle put me out. I was a young, bad little kid or whatever, but he ain't had to put me out. My uncle put me out. My mom's ain't leave with me. I didn't understand that at that moment. So I think I was just, from then on, I was like staying from here to there to there to there. But my mom's always made sure I was good.
Yeah.
Fast forward, you feel me? Like, I always understood, like, she did what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't just leave with me, it was easier to take care of me from afar than to be with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody gonna take care of a grown person and a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I always understood
that.
There
was nothing you could have did to get back in?
I mean, I was young. Like, this shit happened. I was young. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, I fast forward, as an adult, I was understanding of it, but I remember talking to my therapist, and she was like, "Yo, how do you feel?" I'm like, "Yo, I understand." My mom's like, that's one of my biggest inspirations. Like, I learned so much from her.
Yeah.
She's like, "How do you feel? How did that make you feel?" And I'm like, like, I don't know, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because I love my moms. I like, and honestly, even like, it makes me emotional talking about it, because like, me and my moms don't have the best relationship right now, and I think it's because of the lack of time spent together. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I grew up kind of on my own.
Yeah.
It's like, she's been there. Don't get it fucked. Like, she's always been there. She always taught me. Like, she always made sure I was good regardless. But I never had this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
the quality time.
Yeah. So when I got older, it was like kind of stiff on, like, space. Because it's like, I love you, but I'm not used to being there with you. So when you trying to do something different, it's like, bro, I'm good. I gotta continue to do what I'm doing to make sure I'm good. Because is
that a product of your hood mindset though? Going back to not being afraid to accept different.
I don't know. I gotta keep talking to my therapist. You feel me? So to be honest, it's just what I know. You feel me? I know since a youngin', I had to make sure I was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really do too much with you, because I gotta make sure I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, like, so like, I never had her there. So when I get in a relationship, I want you there.
Yeah. You know that made a lot of sense when you said it. I told you, I felt like I understood, you a little bit more, even just through that minimal discussion. I think that's important, even when we try and connect to the people in the audience, because it gives them insight on your upbringing, right? So like, they might see you in a particular light, like you show up at J Hill, I can show up at the Wolf, but how many times do they get? And I ain't gonna disclose your real name. I don't know how you feel about it, but I know mine is Naeem. Sometimes like I want this to be a space where they could come and they could learn a little bit about us too, because we spend a lot of time, even if we have a guest, we tap into their backstory, but we come in here, we ain't going in depth about ours. You know what I'm saying? So I think that definitely creates that connection from you to somebody, like how I was able to learn something about.
Why did it hit home so like heavy for you though?
As honestly, it was just because I felt like I seek to understand people, right? So like, you can learn a lot about somebody when you want to. A lot of the times we spend too much time wanting people to know about us, and like, it's natural, but I like to learn about people too. So we working close in this space, and you, my dog, we've been rocking for these last couple months or whatever, but we still getting to know each other.
Right.
So how many personal conversations do we have about your upbringing? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why it hit me deep, because it was a different dynamic to the discussions we had, and we talk about some personal shit, but never about no shit like that. So it's like, I might breeze past some shit I've been through as a kid. Like, even, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't never really just sat down. Like, I feel like we sitting down, we having drinks, and I'm having a one-on-one with my dog. Like, let's talk about this shit. Yeah, we could do it. We could have another shot. No, nigga, pour your shit up first. I'm gonna mix
my shit.
But what, this juice right here that we not promoting?
Nah, yeah, we not
keep the label face.
I'm mixing my shit though,
the opposite way. He trying to get everybody's shit off. Let me see.
I ain't wilding. You want some? Y'all want some?
Yeah, y'all here. Y'all could grab a cup or something. Try this La Baca. But nah, and even for me, easy. I grew up, you know what I'm saying? Crazy thing is, man, I got now I'm gonna just speak to my mom's side, right? I won't even speak to my dad's side in this matter, because I got a lot of brothers and sisters. I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters on my mom's side. My mom had 5 kids. And everybody got their own perspective on my mom. And it's crazy to me, because I feel like my perspective is the best perspective, because it's the most understanding, right? So I have no resentment towards my mom. And I'm not saying that my siblings do, but I can't speak for them. But I just know for me, I cherish my mom. And it's been that way since I was a kid, because I could date to my mom really being the only person that I had in a lot of the situations. So my mom, and I mean, full transparency, my mom had 5 kids with 5 different baby dads. So each of my siblings, we all got our own dad or whatever, but none of our dads was in our lives. We had one sister who had a dad where we was like, that was the ideal situation where he was actually getting her and shit. But my dad spent like 98% of my life in jail. So, up until my mom, we had a step pop. So that's why I was going to talk to you about that. But that was a blessing, you know what I mean, from him. But just having my mom and seeing her do everything she had to do. Now, my experience is different than my oldest brother. My oldest brother was born, my mom was 18, 19 years old. So he remembered my mom being young, wild, partying, having him in different situations. And he spent 15 years in jail. So I didn't know his perspective until he came home a few years ago and we talked about it. My mom working every day. So my mom had me, she was 32. So she was at this point in her life where she moved. I lived in a project till I was 2 years old. And then she moved us to the community where I'm from in Philly or whatever the case may be. And I spent the rest of my majority of my life there, 90% until I moved out. And she was working majority of the time. So she was working 2 jobs, 12-hour shifts, or one job, 12-hour shifts, or always on the road, just doing whatever she had to do to take care of all of these kids by herself. But what I learned from my mom in that space, even now that I'm older, and how I look at women in a sense, my mom never made an excuse. So my mom, she's adamant about saying, listen, I understood that when I laid down and had y'all, that I was accepting whatever came with it. And that meant if I didn't have no help from none of y'all dads, if I chose sorry ass baby dads, I wasn't going to put them on child support. I was going to do whatever I had to do to take care of my kids. And I respected the fact that my mom, we always had a home, right? So we might have didn't had a best house, but me and my siblings had the luxury of growing up together to all of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? To the point where my mom was raising our friends. Like all of us had a best friend that lived with us that got put out. And it became that sanctuary for everybody. So I learned that she, like, you know, I don't look at women as weak because I see my mom do it. But it also takes to the type of man I am because I don't want to see my woman do it. So I would never leave my woman by herself to raise kids and have to work 2 jobs because I saw my mom do that shit. So I always feel like there's 2 ways you're going to learn. It's going to be directly and indirectly. Directly, it taught me I don't want my mom doing that shit. But indirectly, it also made me realize like that my mom also raised me to be I was never affectionate. My mom never was the give me. It's hard to tell I just started getting comfortable telling my mom I love you. We didn't have that type of relationship where it was like, and I love the shit out of my mom, but saying it and expressing my emotions, it was always, nigga, get the fuck up. What you crying for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like you, like I remember one time, right? Yo, this shit was crazy, right? This was like, I was probably like 5, 6 years old. My brother got into a fight at the corner store and 2 niggas was jumping him. And I ran. That's the only time in my life I ever ran in my life. I ran home and I got my mom. She said, pussy, if you don't go back around there and help your fucking brother, I'm going to fuck you up. I never ran on my brother again. We jumped everybody from that day on for the rest of our entire lives. It became that. But it was just like, it wasn't that, give me a hug, I'm going to coddle you. So I learned that when I got older and I had daughters, I wasn't affectionate. Like, it was uncomfortable for me to hold my daughter's hand at a point in time because I wasn't used to that touch, right? So, and then it didn't show up till women would say to me, like, yo, like, you don't never want to be affectionate. Like, you don't want to be hugged or loved on. But it came because I never was used to that from, you know, coming up. But another thing, the reason I even appreciated my mom and everything she did, because I spent a lot of my early years in the hospital. So me being in the hospital for up until I was 11, constantly, like I'm missing whole school years. I'm in there month after month for back surgery, leg surgery. I didn't have surgery on my nose, different shit like that. Because I came out, my mom was 6 months pregnant. So I spent the first year in the incubator, in the first 11 months on the incubator. Came home on a heart monitor, all these other tubes and shit. And I just could remember, even as a toddler, my siblings hated when I was home. Because if my machine started going off, everybody thinking I'm about to die. I had a small chance of living. But I remember vividly and actively that no matter when I was in the hospital, my mom was she was taking all work. She was there. Nobody else was coming, not a sibling, not a homie, not nothing. So I got a different level of appreciation for my mom because, you know, it was like, damn, she was all I had. So I always say shit to her and shit like, you feel like the only kid that loved me because I say, Mom, I'm gonna buy you a house. Or, you know, last year I was paying my mom mortgage and start, you know, she was fortunate enough that the house is paid off, shit like that. I told my mom if I ever, whatever I could do, I'm always gonna be there because I don't resent the fact that she wasn't there. My brother got a different perspective. He like, damn, mommy never came to none of my games. I can't tell him he wrong for feeling like that. I ain't give a fuck if mommy came to my game. Mommy was at the hospital and they felt like, oh yeah, mommy was doing all that for you. But I'm like, it wasn't like she was doing it because she wanted to. I'm in a fucking compromising position in this joint. So, you know, I just feel like where it tied to me being an adult now, having a therapist, I actually tap into my emotional side and I open up. And these was emotions that I never visited before. Like, I never thought about not being affectionate because my mom never hugged me or, you know, I don't really need the woman presence there because I'm not used to that. But I do feel like I don't cut the women slack when they be complaining about their struggles because I see my mom do it with 5 kids. So I'm not minimizing. Everybody struggle is different. Everybody pain tolerance, everybody hustle is different. But I'm just saying, like, I don't be like, oh, it's that nigga fault. I be like, man, even if you got a bullshit baby dad, women gonna find a way to make it happen. But if you're gonna find a way to make it happen, then don't complain, because I didn't see my mom complain at all for my entire life.
I feel like it's crazy because I didn't think that I would have a problem with the girl not being there, because every time my mom's wasn't there, I look at it like it was something that helped me. So for example, my mom's was never there to watch me play football. So like it made me just work harder, because I'm like, I want to make it to a level where she can come there. Yeah. My mom's was never. So for example, let's give you a better example, right? In school, this is one of the reasons why I became so good in school. Anytime, so I went to like 5, maybe 6 different elementary schools.
Fucking with this conversation, but
I went to like 6 different elementary schools, right hand to God, right, fighting all the time. And to one time I was fighting, I got suspended. And you know, when you got suspended as a youngin', you had to have your parent bring you back to school. Yeah. Or you couldn't come to school. Yeah. My mom's doing drugs, right? It's like, you know how drugs is. Like, and if you don't, like, you know, you get ill in the morning or whatever until you get your hit or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really, it was crazy when you told me that it was said that on camera last week. It was something new to me too.
Yeah, so like until a fiend get their hit, they ill, right? So like they not trying to get up, they sick. So like my mom's will be
going through withdrawal.
Yeah, going through withdrawals in the morning. Like she wouldn't get up like until she could get a hit. So by the time she get up, it probably be in the afternoon, evening, school is over. So I used to get suspended, and my 3-day suspension would turn into like a week suspension, right? My week suspension might turn into 2 weeks. And I learned at that moment, you know, like if I want to go to school, I want to play football. So if I want to play football, I gotta go to school. Yeah, if I want to play professional football, I gotta go to college.
It taught you a different level of responsibility.
So what happened was, at a youngin', I'm like, yo, if I want to play football, I gotta go to school. If I gotta go to school, I can't get suspended because my mom's ain't gonna be able to take me back to school because she's gonna be getting high and shit. Yeah. Real talk. But from me understanding that, I was never able to understand how it hurt me. Right? You know what I'm saying? I never was able to.
Because it's built up trauma. So it's like it's some shit that you living in. You never see the damage that's being done until you out of the fire.
So for me, it's like I'm looking at it like, yo, I love my mom to death, because if she was never doing drugs or whatever the case may be, I would have never been responsible. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at it like in a positive manner.
That's crazy, bro. Because like literally, like it's literally 2 ways you're gonna learn from your parents: the shit they taught you by being there, and the shit they taught you by not being there. Yeah. And it seemed like you took it, because some people will have resentment. Yeah. Like my mom was never there. You like, yo, that taught me how to. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
So the thing about my mom is like she was an old head. Like you feel me? Like grew up in the hood, in the streets. Like so. By her being old, she never hid nothing from me. So even her getting high, I knew that because she told me. You know what I'm saying? Like she told me everything. She literally broke it down. She like, look, if you want to go to, if you don't want to stay home, you see what's going on. You feel me? Don't get suspended. So I ain't even gonna say, I'm not gonna take her credit for that. Like she literally told me these things, but I caught on as a youngin'. It's like, yo, she's saying it, and it ain't like she's saying it and not doing it. She's saying it, and I get suspended. She laying on the couch for fucking a week. You know what I'm saying? So like, but because I was so understanding, it didn't register to me how hurtful it was when she didn't come to a game. Yeah. How hurtful it was when she didn't take me back to school. You know what I'm saying? Like how hurtful it was when, like, I don't know, like when I went to college, she couldn't pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I started to go to college, I started like, I'm in a fraternity, right? And I never forget, like people ask me like why I became a Q. And like my reason for becoming a Q is way different from my reason of.
So it's not because you was a dog.
I don't think that's nobody.
Shit. I fuck with the Qs. I homie that's Q.
So like so my reason of becoming a Q is way different from my reason of being introduced to the Qs. If that makes sense. So like my reason is because my line brothers. You feel me? Like I don't think I could ever be a solo like cross by myself ever. Like I don't. Honestly, I don't love this shit that much. I got like 20 fucking brands. Niggas would think I love it that much.
So you saying like it ain't even that like
it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. So like
ain't nothing deep with this nigga.
You feel me? No,
this conversation deep though. You can't shake it.
At first it was. You feel me? Like I went to an all white school. So I seen Steve. I ain't about to break it down. Anyway, I feel like when I met my line brothers, because I went to 6 different elementary schools, right? 2 different high schools. Like I never was really used to like having that community,
that brotherhood,
and that family, because I grew up by myself fighting everybody. So like that was different. Same with having a girlfriend, right? I'm not used to it. So like when I have a girl, it's like I want you to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because like it speaks to even a lot of like how you operate. Like, you know, Offset, Brit was asking like about something about why you got into learning how to do it. And you was like, I wanted to do it how I wanted to do it or some shit, whatever the response was. But I think that comes from being a loner. Yeah. Like because like you trust yourself. Yeah. And you might have a hard time trusting people because you might not want them to abandon you. You know what I'm saying? I know a therapist might identify that as some type of abandonment issues, and it's evident in a sense because you could testify to that by what you're saying. But I don't know, just like I said, these conversations open up that depth to understand that, like, oh shit, this nigga, he not a control freak. Because this is how it could appear. He is only trust himself because that's all he's used to having. So it's like this motherfucker I'd rather do it himself so somebody can't prevent him or can't stop. You know what I mean? So it's like you creating a positive out of it, but at the same time it's stemming from some shit that
it's crazy. I was having this conversation is because like the very thing that we don't want somebody to do, we'll do something to push him away. So it's like I want you. I want you to So for example,
I ain't gonna let you walk out. I'm gonna kick you out.
Yeah, or let's say like one of the hardest things for me to do in life is let somebody be themselves. I'm gonna tell you why.
Explain.
So you know how like people used to always ask me like, what do you see your purpose in life? And I used to always have this same answer. And even to this day I might say it sometimes. And that's for somebody else not to go through the same thing I went through. But guess what? I have no control on somebody else not going through the same thing I went through.
That's a fact.
Because what happens is like you got experience, whatever experience you got, right? So if I got experience, and just like an adult, like you tell a kid, don't put your hand on the stove because it's hot. The kid still gonna put the fucking hand on the stove.
But they gotta go through it.
They gotta go through it.
They gotta go through it.
So as an adult, it's like, yo, I've been down this alley before. Do not do it as a friend. Because I don't want my friend to go through the same thing I went through. My friend gonna go down the alley and I'm trying to keep convincing them why they not. And guess what? It comes off as me not letting you be you.
Crazy thing is, right, to your point, I'm gonna give you an example that fit what we just did in the earlier discussion. I said I'm out of that phase of my life for the materialistic thing, but I still encourage you to do it because I know why I had to go through it to get where I'm at. So it's one of them things where you become a mentor. So that's why I mentor kids. Because I used to try to tell kids why they shouldn't be in the streets, but I realized that when they're in that space, I understood the unity, the brotherhood that it creates, and that affiliation, and having that person that you feel like you can rely on and go to, and just like the communities we come up in, be close knit like that. But I realized instead of doing that, I started to become a mentor and trying to advocate for helping them get away from it, right? By creating other avenues and supporting it. Like, all right, if you're going to go through this, I'm going to show you, like, whenever you done over here, what you could do moving forward. So I think if you take all of your experiences and instead of trying to prevent it, just start, being ready for the people that overcome it, because everybody not going to get through everything they go through. But when they do, you kind of could give them insight on how you move forward from it.
Just a sidebar, you talking about the meal conversation. So it's crazy that you say that because one of the conversations he was saying that like it was kids in the hood or whatever, and they was like they all had straps on them. He asked his cousin like how much money they had in their pocket. It was like probably like I don't know if he said $40 combined. So instead of telling them not to be in the hood, he told his man give him $500. You know what I'm saying? He give him $500. He knew that's going to distract them for at least a night because
that's real shit.
They're not going to go try to take somebody $500.
That's the best way to do it, is to show them something different, because exposure is what shapes our reality. So what we seen. Right. So it's like if I only saw this, I have a limited perspective of these four corners that I'm involved with. And we're going to get back on topic, but I just want to comment to that. But I used to just I always was big on having trucks, minivans. I still got like, I'm big on SUVs. Yeah. And I would take 6-7 young bulls off the block for a day and go to the movies. But I'm not going to go to the movies that's close to the hood. I'm going to go to the movies that's an hour away.
Yeah, just you look different, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give them something different. So it's like, it's beyond this experience. I took them on college tours with me. And it's like, it's shit now where it's like, they still come to me like, yo, I would have never been out the hood if it wasn't for you. So the fact that he said that, I'm glad he spoke to that, because somebody with that platform, that type of respect, giving that type of example, can be taken by people that have littler platforms, and they could kind of like, inherit those behaviors to distract these young boys from doing the shit that they doing. But getting back to the mommy shit, I just feel like we as we men now, and like you said, you learned from what your mom didn't do, and I learned from my mom didn't do and what she did do as well. So it's like now I feel like a lot of the times a lot of men don't do that inward check and go all the way back to see where this shit's stemming from. Because I feel like to salute a problem, you gotta get to the root of the problem. A lot of people want to talk about who they are now. So you might think a lot of shit, abandonment issues might start because your girl wasn't there, but it really go all the way back to
your
our
moms.
You know what I'm saying? And as men, a lot of us are being raised by our moms. So when we look at these young boys in this new generation and they're reacting emotionally, or they don't have no conflict resolution, or they want shit they way, and they, you know what I mean? They used to being coddled, and they think that they don't have no responsibilities. It's not that our moms had bad intent with it. It's actually that they had good intent and they was doing the best they could to raise us. But the counter effect of it is the niggas that we see going on right now, and how they not, fully developed.
I say this all the time. Niggas get offended when I say it. A lot of niggas got female ways because they was raised by a female.
No, that's not nothing to be offended by. That's a fact.
It's just a lot of niggas can't take that. You know what I'm saying? You tell a nigga the truth and hurt their feelings, right? It's like, so it's like, yo, I had to understand, look at myself in the mirror, like, bro, there's a lot of ways I'm acting that might be like how a female act, because that's all I know.
We should never react out of our emotions. Never.
My pops wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I never, one thing I will say is I played sports all my life. So like, I'll never say I ain't have male figures.
That's important, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's important.
That's super important. And I feel like, and it's crazy because you know how I said that on the flip side, I feel like a lot of ladies, a lot of women act, I don't want to say selfish, but like they act the way they act because they never, a lot of ladies in my experience just haven't had that team sport aspect. Like they didn't play sports. So it's like they can't even really, they don't know how to be a team player because they never had to.
I mean, they was,
you know
yeah.
So it's like,
I can understand that.
Right. So like, I feel like that's just what it is. I feel like a lot of men probably do have these female tendencies because they're raised by a female. Yeah. And a lot of women don't know how to work as a team because they never had to work on a team.
I mean, if you think about it, you know, like a lot of the times like we get like, our coddling is different. You know what I'm saying? Like when like a mother's love with her daughter and a mother's love with her son. Like a mom gonna love her son in a way where she's trying to protect us, right? So she won't want us to make certain decisions. So if she could bear the burden, she try to do it, which is the wrong thing to do because as men, we only learn from pressure. We only respect actions. And, you know, these are the things that make us men and being able to take accountability. But if our mom is like, oh, my son ain't do it or he never wrong or let me pay for this so you don't got to sell drugs or I don't want my, fuck no.
I'm not saying,
but no, we speaking, we speaking to the masses of, you know, women that's raising boys. And it's not their fault because they're trying to do what they know how to do, which is love and nurture. But a man needs both, right? Need balance. Whereas though with their daughters, they be a little bit more tough on them. And they relationships is always different. Like I seen the way my mom, it's crazy because like my mom was tough as shit on my sisters. Now that I look back on it, but she didn't want them doing what she did, making a mistake she made.
It's crazy.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like a different dynamic.
I have a different experience with that, bro. Like
you had
my
sisters?
brother. No. So, all right. So like, mind you, like, so you know, I'm like, I have a brother, but like, I'm like the only child for my brother. My mom's had him when she was 18.
Oh, so he's 40 something.
Like, he probably like 60 something now. Like,
he
was 40 something when I was young.
He was born.
So, but he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and he stayed with like my aunts and like my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
So I never really talked to him like that. So I have a brother that's like my blood brother. His name's Antoine, right? So I stayed with him. He had Tyra, Tiara. He had 3 sisters. He was the only boy. His mom's used to kick his fucking ass, bro.
Yeah, no,
like,
you had that. No, you had
like,
that.
I ain't like she was way harder on him than she was on.
No, but that's one of the things where we go through that too, where they trying to make us tough to be a man. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes we get our ass whooped and don't even know why we getting our ass whooped. Because like I got my ass whooped a lot, but like I said, I'm thinking and another thing, men respect. We respect consequences. So like the reason a man won't do certain shit, like say a man might not steal from another man because he know what come with that. Yeah. When you being raised by a woman, in a sense, it's like the consequences might be getting your ass whooped, but once that no longer affects you, you feel like you can run a circle around your mom. You see what I'm saying? And that tends to be what happened.
How old was you when your mom?
I got my last whooping?
Yeah.
I think I was like, I want to say like 10 or 11. Because it was one of them joints, you know, after a while, you just take it. She beat me with the broomstick. I hope this ain't going to get her in trouble.
No, my mom.
But she just beating the shit out of me with a broom. And I'm not even phased by it.
Yeah, I remember the last time my mom.
No, I'm talking shit. I know she ain't going to.
My mom had punched me or whatever. And I looked at her like.
That shit ain't here.
What are you doing? Like,
you know what? Say that. I'm going to be real. No, my step pop came around when I was like 8 or 9. And like he never put his hands on us, but he disciplined us. And I had a big brother, and he used to fuck us up. So it wasn't really like my mom really didn't have to, and she worked a lot. So she wanted to spend that little bit of time with us, loving and nurturing us. And you know, we were just running circles. I know you're watching it now, Mom, because she's an active supporter of the podcast. We was running circles around her because she was at work. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was one of the things where she never really wanted to. She didn't really chastise us because I guess one of the things where it's like I'm not really there all day, so I just want to love my kids when I'm with them.
Do you think that? Respect
consequences. 100%. Pressure, consequences. Because you know who a man is when his back to the wall.
Yeah, I'm about to say this. This might hurt a lot of niggas' feelings. A lot of niggas be putting their hands on females because there ain't no consequences no more. Like I feel like back in the day,
niggas will fuck you up for that.
A nigga will fuck you up for that. Nowadays, niggas putting their hands on.
But no, this the thing though. Dude, it's like one of the things like this, right? Because I feel like it's still today. Like I'm never going for that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not who I am. We could, as men, we'll try to mind our business for somebody's household, right? Now there's a difference if I don't know you putting your hands on your girl. I can't hold you accountable. It can't be no consequences. I can't do nothing to you. But if you know and you know you can't mind your business in that sense because it's one of them things where like we would never condone nor respect, you know, domestic violence from a man or a woman. But if you're a man and you can't, if a woman get under your skin to the point where you feel like you need to hit her, you need to remove yourself. Like that's the first thing you need to do because at the end of the day, no matter how much they do, because like some niggas like, oh, she provoked me, whatever. No matter putting yourself in that predicament, remove yourself. That's the best thing you could do. And as far as in consequences, I just feel like, because we could kind of segue into protecting women, right? I just feel like it comes down to awareness. So if you know and you're not doing nothing, you just as much a sucker. But if you don't know, then it's like, how can I prevent something that I'm not aware of?
Even if you are aware, I feel like, and where we at today, bro, like back in the day, you could whoop a nigga ass.
You should.
You ain't whooping nobody ass did today.
Why not?
You can get killed.
You could kill them too.
Yeah, but like
I'm just saying, like I'm saying the same consequences.
I feel you, but like it's
all right. You know what? Let's not invoke violence, right?
Yeah, we not. But I'm telling the truth though.
Let's say talk to this person. Talk. No, literally, like
right.
Like if you my homie and I find out you beating your woman, and the first reaction might not be to fuck you up, but it's definitely gonna be to talk to you.
Right.
And it's one of them things where it's like, I'm gonna do everything I can to encourage you to leave the situation alone, because it's obviously putting you in a position that's compromising to your character, your morals, your dignity, and your freedom and your life.
Right.
Because like you said, if women had brothers or dads, that changes the dynamic.
That's what I'm saying.
Of how niggas gonna carry it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But still, in these predicaments, a lot of the times, people just don't be know. Because you gotta think, right? If a woman don't want something happen to her boyfriend because he didn't put her hands on her, or whatever the case may be, and I don't understand these experiences. I'm not a woman, but I'm just speaking generally and as broad as I can. Is like, how can the dad, the brother, the cousin chastise this man if they don't know?
Right.
So I feel like it comes down to, like, you know, if the homies know, y'all need to check your homie to prevent anything further. And if the family find out, then y'all need to do whatever y'all can to kind of like, and you know, people will be like, oh, we tried, and people gonna go where they want, and that is true. But I still just think that the effort is key. Just still trying to get people out of them predicaments.
Now, I think we just need to get back to kicking niggas' asses. Because, like, if a nigga putting his, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like, bro, we just gotta, niggas just can't be going around hitting women. You feel me?
No,
like, I ain't saying it to be cliche.
No, that's not cliche. That's some coward shit. You shouldn't, because that says a lot about you as a person,
yeah.
your self-esteem, and it comes from a place of pride and ego. And if you don't have it in you, leave.
And I'm not gonna
remove
lie.
yourself. Walk away. Seriously.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it is like a lot of ladies out there it's ladies out there that probably put their hands on men. And again, like you said,
that don't
like,
mean fuck them up back.
Yeah,
though.
if you in that situation, just leave. You know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done, but
we know every time we do that, we negate the process. It has to be hard. If that's if it's a challenge, nigga, accept the challenge. If you will pick up a gun and shoot somebody, then you can accept the challenge of walking the fuck away from a woman that's talking crazy to you. If your woman don't respect you and she feel like she can raise her voice and talk to you a way that you don't like, have enough respect for yourself to remove yourself. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be one decision away from throwing your life away over some shit that you gonna regret when you wake up. That domestic shit ain't no joke. That shit ain't no game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even my mom, like, one of her boyfriends used to hit her. You know what I'm saying? And I never seen it personally, but I just remember this one night where she came home fucked up, all her nails ripped off, hair pulled out, and my aunts told us, like, yeah, such and such, you know, put his hand in. And I always knew that if I wasn't playing that shit, like, I'm not with none of that shit. I'm not playing that shit. And it's just like, to avoid all of that, why even? And I was like 5 or 6 years old at the time, but I'm just saying, growing up, I just never was doing it. But just remove yourself. If a woman make you feel low, which they got the power to do,
yeah,
a girl can say something. Your woman know your rear button.
Yeah,
she know the shit that's gonna make you feel low because you done invented to her.
Right.
So she know that, you know, whatever you got going on, your insecure spots is gonna piss you off. The moment she hit that rear button, walk away, because that's letting you know right there, damn, she has no boundaries as to where she would take it to get me riled up. If it's getting me riled up to the point where I feel like I need to react, and I don't care if she's cheating on you, stealing from you, lying to you. I know somebody out here like, no, man, I'll fuck her. No, bro, that's not cool. Not even in a joking standpoint, not cool. Cut her ass the fuck off. If a woman is toxic to your life, leave her the fuck alone. Like, have enough respect and dignity for yourself as a man to elevate yourself from that woman to deal with somebody that want to be with you.
Nah, facts. Like, nah, you're right, bro.
And he'll gonna fuck you up. You heard him.
Wait, what?
That's what you said.
No. I'm all for that, man. I'll be chilling. I'll pray for you.
Pray for these niggas, man.
Yeah, pray for these niggas.
And I think that, like, you know what I'm saying? Another thing, you know, from within our mommy issues, I think that, you know, just like, since we on the topic, and for the men that's out there that is raised by women, like I said, stop reacting out of your emotions. And I'm not going to just identify that as a woman's thing, but I'm still saying as a man.
No, it is. I think it's a feminine behavior.
I'm saying even if I'm, regardless, I'm not even giving them that excuse. Regardless, you shouldn't be operating out of your emotions, because at the end of the day, it's okay to feel a certain type of way, but that don't give you the. So you got to learn how to process what's going on and still rationalize with your decisions.
Facts.
Because that shows up not just with men and women, that shows up with men and men, where it's like, we have a disagreement. Now we at odds. Now we fighting each other because we acting off our emotions. Think how many men won't be beefing if they had a conversation.
Yeah.
You know how many conflicts could be resolved?
You know how many lives could be saved?
And we talk, but here go the hood mindset. It ain't no talking. Yeah. How can I talk to you if I'm a bitch if I see you and I don't just go right at you? It's no. So this is the shit that we gotta eliminate. You know what I'm saying? We going on a motherfucking tangent, but it don't even matter. This is the shit we gotta eliminate from our mindset. That no talking mindset. Because it's like a lot of the times it's like if we being real, it's like it might be a woman in the middle of these discussions. You know how many niggas only know niggas through the eyes of a woman?
Yeah.
You don't even know this nigga. You know what she said about it, and you okay with that because it makes you feel comfortable within yourself to hear her dog this nigga out, so it bigs your ego up, or to hear her talk shit about a nigga, whether it's a chick baby dad, ex-boyfriend, and men don't even seek to get to know a nigga for who that nigga is. I tell niggas all the time, I'm not letting a woman control my narrative of how I see a man. I'm gonna see you for who you are, and that's your character, how you handle your responsibilities, how much you take accountability, and like how you carry yourself. You might be a good nigga, but a bullshit boyfriend. A bullshit husband, a bullshit father. If you're a bullshit father, it's something we discuss. Bullshit nigga, something we could discuss. But the fact of the matter is, if your character cool, you can grow in those elements. But if you got a fucked up character, I can't fuck with you at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, people don't see that. They think, oh, yeah, this motherfucker flawed because this person said he was flawed. And then, I don't like that nigga. And it's like, now, there's no conflict resolution when you see somebody on site.
Definitely gotta learn. You gotta just learn how to.
My fault. I just start going crazy.
No. I felt that. I felt fine.
Yeah,
That shit hit home or something.
Nah, it wasn't even that. I just feel like we talking to the people, and these people need to hear this shit, bro.
Man, I think that was a great conversation, bro.
100%. Damn, we did good. Again, episode 4. I like this, John, man. I'm fucking with
this,
it,
bro.
I'm fucking
Trade
with
thoughts, man. My guy Wolf J Hill.
Follow us on the gram at Wolf WSC at Mr._J Hill. We're gonna have a Trade and Thoughts Instagram page, you think? So we might as well just shout it now.
Yeah, we good.
Just search it at Trade and Thoughts. It's available. We'll know by episode 5. We'll let y'all know. Subscribe, like, comment.
Check out La Boca.
Yeah, and if y'all got some shit y'all want us to test out, talk about, send it to us. We accepting all any and all sponsorships.
Facts. It's a wrap. We out. Gang. We out.
That's spoken.